actual cost of convenience? That's what we're discussing again right now with Mairlyn Smith. So she went out, you went out, and you did some things prepackaged, and you did some things at home on your own, and calculated where you're really saving money and where you should just maybe think about doing it yourself at home.
Right. Or is it, better to do the convenience? And it's all by serving. So when you see what it looks like, we cost it out per serving. Okay. Per serving.
Let's talk about eggs.
Eggs. Okay. I'm a huge fan of eggs. If you make omelets with egg whites, you're going to save 58%. And that's a big cost savings, but you're missing out the goodness of the egg yolk, which has the lutein, the vitamin E. It's really good for you. So I say double up. So I say use one egg and then do double up with the egg whites, and you're expanding that. You're getting more protein, but you're also getting the goodness of the yolk. Genius.
Love
okay,
that.
good. I love that one. Buy a whole chicken and roast it, or buy a pre-roast one. This is really cinchy when you're losing your mind. But this is so simple. You go like this and put some salt on it and you throw it in the oven.
Right.
And that's going to save you 30% over this guy.
Okay, because a lot of people are buying this guy.
I know, but there's a lot of sodium in that guy. And so for a health point, I say roast your own. It's like so cinchy. Like it's like this. In the oven. Okay, that's all. Okay. All right.
That was such a good example.
Yeah, there was a very good. Yeah, it's
it.
my acting coming up. Turkey breast versus turkey slices.
Yes.
Cooking your own from scratch is way cheaper than going for deli. As a matter of fact, you're going to be saving 21% when you roast it yourself, and then you don't get any of the nitrates, any of the sodium. It's just a pure. And I do this all the time.
Do you?
I do.
You put a big chunk of turkey in and you roast it yourself.
Yeah, I really, really do. And then we eat it because I can slice it, or I can chunk it, and I can do so many different things with it. It becomes a protein for a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Stick it in an omelet, make it, there's so many fun things.
Enough.
Now, I found this, and I think this is a genius product that I stole because it's so smart.
Nice.
They're selling salmon that's marinated on a plank, a cedar plank. So you can buy a cedar plank. Do not go to the lumber store and get one of this because you'll die, all right? You need food grade cedar, but you have to soak it. And you have to soak, this is like, you got to think about this the day before.
100%.
And then you have to marinate the fish, with some marinade. You can put ginger, orange, whatever you want. And then, so it's a lot more work.
Totally.
A lot more work. You got to be really organized. But if you did make it from scratch, you're going to save 28% over the bought one. But seriously, you want to look like...
I'm going to get that.
Yeah, you know what? It's like, and ta-da! Like everyone thinks you're a rock star. Okay.
That's a lot.
Over here, shepherd's pie. Oh, you know what? I love shepherd's pie. It's total comfort food. I deconstructed this. I cooked it. I peeled all the potatoes off. I measured out everything. I was like picking carrots out. It was like, are you? And Scott comes and he goes, oh, come on. Anyway, so when I priced it all out, the bought shepherd's pie was a lot more money. And when you make it from scratch, you're going to save 54%. So that was a big one. But the other thing is that most people don't make a shepherd's pie on purpose. They use it with leftover mashed potatoes, leftover meat. So if you're using it as a leftover thing, I think that's great. But you know what? This was really good. They put lentils in it. That's a genius idea.
Not bad.
Extending the meat and adding fiber.
If you make it yourself, though, you can season it the way you want it.
You can.
Like my mother makes everything West Indian style. So even the shepherd's pie, it's like jerk meat in there.
Call me over.
Oh,
that'd be fantastic. This I thought was genius. You get this in the butcher store, and some butcher, random butcher, he's got chicken breasts, wrapped it in with asparagus, feta, and bacon, and single serving. And if you're living on your own, this is a really smart dinner, because you're worth it. And it's only 17% more if you would, and that's not much.
That's not much.
I'd say I'm going to pick this one.
Okay.
Okay. The last three are kind of like in the fun department. Pizza. It's always cheaper to make your own pizza. You're going to save 28% making your own, and that's per serving.
It'll taste better too.
It'll taste better. Well, you know what? It's fun, and it's get your kids involved. You can even buy the dough. I didn't even make the dough. I bought the dough. This is frozen dough. Okay. And then my homemade cookies versus store-bought versus frozen baked. Okay. So you're going to save. I got to read this out because it's kind of confusing. 24% over homemade over the package. Okay. And you're going to save 38% over the frozen ones. Now I know that looks bigger, but I weighed them, and so they're all sort of the same. So that's my homemade one, and it's also got whole grains in it. So win-win.
You made it healthier.
And the last one is making a lemonade versus homemade lemonade. Bought homemade.
Home.
The bought one was way cheaper.
It's way cheaper to buy it.
Way cheaper to buy it.
Way cheaper to buy it.
And I think it's under the thing like pop, so it's like a cheap drink. But I would make mine instead, even though it was more expensive.
Because yours is just
tastes better. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good little lesson there.